Am I live? Am I? Am I? Am I live? Am I live? I'm live. Hey, hello, MT YouTube, and welcome back to me going live. So, yeah, I just felt like going live, coming on live, and because a thought was running through my mind, these things usually work this way. A thought runs through my mind, and I'm like, let me go live with this. So, anyway, all right, what I wanted to talk about today is social media as an echo chamber. And what I mean by that is, how good does my makeup look? How good does my makeup look? My makeup, I mean, I don't even know how well you can see it because my camera quality is on point. It's so on point that you can just barely see things right. That's how on point it is. But anyway, yeah, I have started wearing makeup like regularly since last week, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I didn't used to. I used to wear makeup back when I was like 12, 13, 13, started experimenting with it. And then I fell out of it, kind of like a couple years, I fell out of it and I was like, oh no, I prefer not wearing makeup. And that's a whole other video. But anyway, yeah, so now I'm back to wearing it and now I'm wearing it a lot more intricately and I really like make myself up and I love it and I feel hot right now and I'm going to turn my fan in my direction. So okay, so yeah, so I wanted to talk about okay, the one is kind of in my face, but it feels great. I wanted to talk about social media as an echo chamber, and what I mean by that, and you probably understand what I mean by that, is that social media is the place where you go to have your opinions confirmed by other people, you know? Like you can be I mean, you post things and you want to get likes, you want to get comments, and you want people to support and validate what you're doing. So, any person who just likes anything that you do is essentially just validating how you feel that you should be viewed, I guess, essentially. But then, I think the worst way in which social media is really an echo chamber is when you take certain YouTubers, for instance, okay? Will I name names? Will I not name names? YouTubers that I watch. Let me just before I name names, if I will name names, let me just explain, and then maybe we'll see if I name names. So, yeah, there's so there's certain YouTubers. I mean, let's just take any YouTuber who has a platform, and not just I mean, every YouTuber has a platform. Any YouTuber who has a significant following, and by significant, I just mean an active and engaged following. You can have like 30 subscribers. If you're 30 subscribers, excuse me. Oh my God, a second person. Hi. Oh, bye. Lol, I love it. The moment I acknowledge this person, they gone. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes. Yeah, you can have 30 subscribers, for instance, and as long as they're engaged with your channel, then you have a significant channel. That's what I mean by that, because there is action, there's activity happening, so it is alive. Um, yeah, so any person who has a significant following, a following that cares about what you do and what you say, people in that position, I have noticed, can go I mean, do I want to say one of two ways? But I've seen different ways in which this kind of translates. On the one hand, you have people who have a significant following, and they're highly appreciative of it. Like first of all most social media influencers are going to at least portray themselves as grateful, for having the subscribers and the followers. I'll be like, I love you and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if you can tell from my tone, but I'm a little bit skeptical about how much they love the people that they say that they love. Like, honestly, I personally feel like, okay, you just love the fact that you have subscribers. I don't think you love me. You don't know me. And I also don't love you. I don't know you. Like, I can love you. I love you as a human, but I don't love you beyond that, you know? And so I'm not, yeah, anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that, yeah, so you have the social media influencers, social media influencers, YouTubers especially, particularly, I'm gonna say particularly because I guess that's whatever. YouTubers, Instagrammers, Twitterers, TikTokers, Facebookers, whatever. Other social media platforms that I don't use, like all of these users who have a significant following, they'll have this gratefulness for the following that they have. But at the same time, it's like what I find very often is that these people will not hold themselves accountable. They won't hold themselves accountable. And of course, I mean, I'm not really, I doubt that I'm actually, kind of like breaking a glass ceiling by saying this, but I guess I'm just saying my opinion of it, in my own words. They lack accountability for themselves and the potential mistakes that they make. So that's how I feel. I feel like these YouTubers they will often, allow they will allow people who contradict them to be spoken down to be insulted, to just, essentially just have, negative feedback from other commenters because they don't like that you gave a certain kind of comment to the YouTuber or social media influencer in question. So they'll respond against you, the other commenters, but then what you rarely see, rarely, fucking rarely, extremely rarely, I don't even think I've ever seen that. You don't see the YouTuber whose channel, whose video this is, whose whatever content this is, coming back and being like, what you commenter said about this person who disagreed with me is not cool. You don't need to be a bitch towards them because they disagree with me. I can be wrong, blah, blah, blah. They won't say anything. I often find that there's a silence. And what that silence says to me is that these YouTubers, these social media influencers are not looking to have an open mind. They're not really looking to have a discussion. They're not looking to have an exchange. They're just looking to have an audience, and they're looking to have people who adore them. And they're not really looking to have very much of fairness. They're not looking for, what's the word? I mean, I already said it. They're not looking for an exchange. They're not looking for equal ground with the people who watch them. They're looking for sounding boards for the things that they say. They're not looking for someone to step outside of their imaginary, and other ways in which that you kind of notice social media influencers not at all, kind of, let me not say not at all, because, maybe that's excessive, but another way in which you see social media influencers, and I feel that's kind of how you see how they really feel about the feedback that they get, is if, because I'm someone who reads comments a lot. I'm a commenter. I love to comment. Yeah, I love to comment. I love to interact. And my purpose in commenting, like, I feel a purpose when I comment. When I comment usually because I either want to encourage the video and the person for what they're doing, blah, 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 or because I want to correct something that they said in the video, or I want to open up the conversation and open up points of view that the YouTuber didn't mention, or I want to, within my comments, just say something that's inclusive. So someone else who feels the way that I do or who doesn't feel represented can feel that, oh, well, someone who watched this video does feel like I do. So I'm an active commenter because this feels like part of where like my duties of, helping to make the world a better place, one comment at a time, lie, lol. So I read a lot of comments. I like to look at the comments, and something that I understand is that there's also many YouTubers, influencers who don't. Many of them will just, they won't read their comments. They won't look at any of that because of, they don't want to. I mean, they don't want the negativity. They don't want to. They don't want the negativity. And I kind of feel two ways about that. Like on the one hand, I understand. I understand because yeah, it's your mental health, it's your feeling, and you're like you don't want to deal with that, so you don't have to. But then for me, it's like there's negative comments, and then there's opposing comments, and very often opposing comments they're not bashing comments. I'm likely to give you an opposing comment or a supportive comment, and an opposing comment is actually still constructive because I try to still frame it in a constructive fashion. What I've noticed often is that because as I read through, before I comment, I read other people's comments and everything, and when I see people make really good points, I see someone make a really good point in relation to the video. It could be in absolute agreement with the video. It's just adding something that wasn't really said before. Or it can be someone contradicting the video or just, not agreeing with it. You cannot agree, not necessarily contradict. It can be either one of the two. And those, for instance, in the contradiction or non-agreement comments, they're not always negative. They're not always like hateful comments. It's just like, I don't agree. What I find so interesting is that rarely will you find oh shit. So, oh fuck. Oh my god. Oh, I just realized that there is a big splash of chocolate milk on my wall because my mug of chocolate milk spilt. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah. So as I was saying, anyway, hello, welcome to this live. I don't know if you were here before. I don't know if you're new, but we're talking about social media as an echo chamber. And where I'm at currently is I was saying that when YouTubers get certain comments, for instance, when they'll get a comment that is not necessarily that is agreeing with them. I mean, they're agreeing with the YouTuber and the message that the YouTuber had, but then they'll probably add another point to it. They'll just add more to the conversation, right? In those instances, I've often found that certain YouTubers, they don't respond, they don't respond to those messages that are what they say, what the person has commented is highly pertinent. It's highly pertinent. It's a talking point. It's in absolute reference to what the YouTuber said in their video. And in the video, at the end of the video, as I guess you could say the biggest YouTubers are wont to do, they will ask you to leave your opinions, leave your thoughts in the comments, share your thoughts with me. I would love to know what you guys think. Blah, 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 blah. I roll. I'm so fucking sick and tired of seeing these YouTubers being like, I want to know what you guys think. I can't wait to see shut the fuck up. Because you're not even having a conversation with the people that you can't wait to see what they think. You're not. You're not having a conversation. You heart to the comments that are in only agreement with you, that don't go against you in any way, And that's the echo chamber thing. You'll see so many hearts on comments that agree with what the YouTuber said. And you'll see nothing on comments that are perhaps asking the YouTuber to talk more, persuade me a little bit more. Let's have a bit more of a conversation here. But then they won't respond. And then I thought this was a conversation, and I thought that you wanted to know what I thought. But no, what you want to know is that people agree with what you think exactly. You don't really care about what people who agree with you have to say that goes beyond what you've already said. And you don't care about people who disagree with you, whether constructively or hatefully. Now, obviously, when people disagree with you hatefully, all the more reason not to care. Fine. But when someone is disagreeing with you constructively, they're not even hating on you, they just don't agree with you, and you have nothing to say. And then, in comparison, not even in comparison to that, but in addition to that, you also don't respond to people who have pertinent, significant, intelligent, thought provoking points that would take the conversation further. You also don't respond to that. So I'm just like, oh my God. Ah, I'll watch your videos, but just what it says to me, I'll watch your videos because I'm obviously watching because I find you entertaining. I find you interesting enough to watch. But like those kinds of um discrepancies, these little tells show me the true character of the person whose video I'm watching. And so often of the time, I just find myself being so unimpressed. I'm like, okay, I mean, your videos are entertaining and stuff, but I kind of have this feeling that you're just someone who likes to be an entertainer. You like to be the center of attention, and you don't really like to spread the light and the love out to other people. You don't listen as well as you talk. I'm getting that feeling. And it's boring. It's a boring feeling. But whatever, I'm gonna keep watching your videos because I'm bored. And until I have the time, or I find the time, or I make the time to make my own content, so I don't have to be irritated with yours, I'll just watch. I'll keep watching because, like I said, I'm entertained. Yeah, but yeah, social media is something of an echo chamber. You'll post something so someone will agree with you, and you will not develop that feeling in yourself that says that no one needs to agree with me. I remain strong and firm and confident in my belief. I don't believe that social media is breeding people to learn what that means. Yeah, but I don't think that people can't do it. It's just, like, this is currently the way that it is. It's currently what I am observing. And it's always refreshing. It's refreshing every now and then when a YouTuber will kind of, correct themselves, or like as they're reading like a chat, if it's like the it's alive and there's like the chat going crazy and stuff. One day, let me just say this right now, mark my words. One day I will have active chats. I will have active chats. But obviously it requires work from me as well, so I'm not blaming anybody on that. But yeah, anyway, like sometimes it makes me feel like I love to see when YouTubers will, they will actually, acknowledge these things. They'll acknowledge comments that aren't in perfect agreement with them, or that aren't, or that are adding more, and they acknowledge that, and they kind of like act as grateful for hearing what someone else has to say, as the people who watch them act grateful. And something else about that, I mean, I know I said I was going to speak about social media as an echo chamber, but just to add on to that, kind of like the flip side of that, dude, I'm fucking loving this makeup. Matt, it's a gift. I like it. Okay, friend, as I was saying, what was I saying? Right. So I feel like the flip side of that. So within like the community side, the side of the people who are watching. So it's interesting, on both sides of it, the person who's like trying to get their echo chamber. Ooh, 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 ooh. The person who's trying to get their echo chamber, so the YouTuber, the influencer, whatever. I feel like when you don't practice equality. So essentially, what I'm speaking about is the practice of equality. That's my opinion, anyway. The practice of equality, especially in conversation, the practice of equality in conversation is when you listen to someone, they listen to you, you acknowledge what they say, you add on to what they say, etc., etc. You don't deny what someone says because it doesn't agree with you. You engage, you have the conversation. You move outside of yourself, and you kind of like bridge the gap through words and ideas transmitted through words and lips and teeth and tip of the tongue, right. So this is what I call practicing equality through conversation. And so anyway, these people, so I feel like the YouTubers, the social media influencers in general, so yeah, regardless of the platform, who don't practice equality. I feel like these people who don't practice equality, well, they suffer from low self-esteem. Yeah, even if you're someone who acts like, you have all the confidence in the world, and you have all these people who are praising you, and you're just like, yes, I'm taking in all this love, and people see you as like queen, they see you as queen, bae, whatever. To me, the fact that you're not willing to acknowledge someone else's perspective, just first of all, it makes me lose all respect for you. I can't help it, I just can't respect someone who does not respect someone else's opinion. And what I mean by that is just, respect in the sense of just acknowledging that it exists, just acknowledging that. You don't need to agree with it. You just need to acknowledge that your opinion exists. If you can't do that, if you can't acknowledge it, I can't respect you. And I can tell that you don't have very much self-esteem, So I don't feel like this person feels like they can hold up in conversation, in equal footing conversation with someone else. So they act like that. They just take the love and then they don't really give it that much in return, which is shitty. But anyway, on the flip side of that, I feel like the social media people, the social media public, the people who are now following the person who's like clean bear, whatever, I feel like these people have low self-esteem as well, because they aren't recognizing the discrepancy in their relationship to the person that they're idolizing. They're not realizing that, you're giving all this praise and all these comments and all these great things to these people who aren't giving it back to you. And sometimes you absolutely have to give people props and people love just for the sake of it, because it's just a good thing to be kind. It's just a good thing to encourage people, to support people. When you're going to encourage people and you're going to support people, it is ideal that you encourage and support people from a place of self-esteem and self-confidence. Because when you encourage people from a place of self-esteem and self-confidence, no part of you can feel like no part of you. I mean, you're a lot less likely to feel hurt by someone not reciprocating, or not responding, or not being responsive, just because you understand that you've made the choice to give someone a compliment. It has nothing to do with them, actually. They could give a fuck. You gave them a compliment just because you think that they should know, and you'll feel a lot better about yourself just by having given someone else a compliment. Yeah, so that's one thing. But I feel like most people, this is in my observation and in my opinion, just from the types of comments that you read and that you see, most people who are commenting and like, giving praises and stuff, I don't feel like they're really doing this from a place of, oh, I know that I'm a great person. I know that I'm awesome. And I'm watching someone else who I think is awesome. And so I'm letting them know, hey, fellow awesome person, I think you're awesome. I know I'm awesome. Don't think I'm putting you above me. I'm not. But I just want you to know that you're awesome, because I recognize my awesome. I see what you give. I raise you an awesome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what I feel like I am seeing from commenters is like, oh my God, this person is so much higher than me. They are God. I am shit. They're God. I'm Claude. They're Todd. I'm Bob. Because Todd is cool and Bob is lame. Lol. But yeah, I know that's what I feel. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing people who have no belief in themselves. I'm seeing people who I feel give also more praise to people than they should get. You're giving them more praise than they deserve. You're giving them the amount of praise that someone with low self-esteem gives. It's desperate praise. Desperate praise can be spotted from a mile away. And desperate praise is the thing that makes up the echo chamber. The echo chamber of social media influencers is made up of mostly 90% desperate praisers, people who have very low self-esteem and are latching on to the qualities that they admire in other people, and then just like, oh my God, oh my God, whatever. I mean, that's on you. That's on you. I'm not personally for it. Obviously, I you can tell that I'm not impressed by it, and I also encourage people not to be like that. It's like get some self-esteem. You know, stop giving these people more than they deserve. Stop giving them more than they deserve because they don't deserve you to. They don't deserve to have you falling over yourself for them. Like they don't deserve that. These social media influencers, and that also includes celebrities, and anyone really, but let's just kind of stick to social media influencers because we're talking about social media here and the echo chamber that it is. And yeah, no matter how great they are, they do not deserve for you to look like an idiot praising them. They don't deserve that. You deserve better than that for yourself because you look stupid. You look stupid. You look stupid. You look like you lack self esteem when you give someone way more praise than they deserve. And something else that confirms to me the low self esteem of the YouTubers and the influencers in question when they're given this disproportionate, imbalanced amount of praise that they don't deserve. They don't deserve. You deserve to be told that you've done a good job. Great. But you do not deserve to be put on a pedestal and gone overboard and blah blah blah. That's delusional. And so when you have self-esteem as a person who's being praised, when you have self-esteem, when you have self-esteem as a person who's being praised, you do not allow someone to put you on a pedestal. When you have self-esteem and someone is praising you too much, you don't allow it. You don't allow it because you know your own worth. You know that you are great because you have self-esteem. You know that you're great. You know you have value. You know you're awesome, great, whatever. But you also know that you're not too big for your britches. You also know that you are not the be all and end all. I mean, you can say that in yourself and you can think that in your own mind, like, oh, I'm the shit, I'm the shit, I'm the shit. But when you're really humble, when you have confidence, but you're a humble person, you don't allow someone to give you more hype than you deserve. You will you'll set that person straight, and you'll just be like, okay, well, I appreciate you thinking all these things about me, but you should know that, like, I don't have as much star power as you're giving me, or, I'm not that thing. I'm myself and I recognize what I do have, but I'm not on this overboard level that you're painting out for me, or when you have that self-esteem and you're being given a disproportionate amount of praise, you're a lot more likely to give the compliment back. You recognize that the person who's giving you this disproportionate amount of praise is not very confident in themselves. You recognize that. And you're like, okay, well, shit, this person is seeing me through the eyes of lack of confidence. And I really don't want them to walk away from the situation thinking that they were talking to someone who was higher than them. I want them walking away from the situation knowing that the illusion that they had about me is nice, but it's not quite true. And it actually doesn't take anything away from how great you are, you know? And I feel like I don't see that enough. I do not see this enough. I honestly, like, yeah, most social media influencers will not give that. And the thing is, like, that's not that surprising. It's not that surprising because people on social media are human beings. And so in the real world, we know that this is also the way that people behave. Most people will not encourage you. Most people will not steer you in the right direction. Most people will not tell you that, hey, don't give me more attention that I deserve. You know, give yourself some of that. Most people don't do that. So it would be really no different with social media influencers and their famous, much loved echo chambers. Why the fuck would they do that? Anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I don't know that I have much more to say on the topic. I've been on live for 30 minutes, 29 minutes and 15 seconds and 16 seconds and 17 seconds and 18 seconds. And thank you so much for taking all these seconds to come here and watch. And I had some people coming in and out, but I think this has been my most active live yet. Thank you. Yeah. And just so I'm not a hypocrite in relation to what I was saying, Let me just say that I appreciate you for watching. I'm not going to claim to love you because I don't know you like that. I love you as a human, but I'm not going to be, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I love you so much. I don't feel like that. I love you. Thanks for watching and have a great day, evening, afternoon. Oh, shit. I wanted to end off like so cool. It didn't work. Oh my God. So cool. It didn't work. I'm just like, I'm so bored. Yes. Oh my God. Is this not over? End. The fuck?